what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the back-to-back AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals. Now, do me a favor, if you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. You guys are awesome. I'm up to 2,104 subscribers. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you're watching Facebook or Twitter and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, why not? Please do so. Please go to the YouTube channel Sports with Strawberry Ice. Hit the subscription button, hit the bell for the notification. Every time I go live, you'll be notified. Also, exclusively in the YouTube chat crew, we're doing super chats. So we're talking draft with my seat neighbor, Bengals and Brews Mastermind, Dale Altman. So if you got a question about the draft or any free agent stuff, mostly draft here. We talked free agent yesterday, mostly draft. Give us a super chat. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I'm coming to you live from the Ice Cave. The Ice Cave is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out their website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. So if you're looking for a house, a condo, apartment, get a rental property you don't want to manage anymore, give T Properties a chance and they'll take care of the rest for you. And as always, as you know, football season might be over, but beer drinking season's never open. Never over. So check out the Jackpot Joey beer. It is at Brink Brewery. It is at Cork and Bottle, Kentucky, Jungle Gyms, various Krogers around the tri-state area. Also, the gear, you can get it at jackpotjoey9.com. Get the hoodies. I got the hat on. I'm repping Goodberry today, but the hats, we got flags, all kinds of stuff there. Remember, portions of the proceeds go to the Joe Burrow Foundation. And we still got Betfred going on. Still got a Super Bowl here. I know the Bengals aren't in it, but we have a Super Bowl that you guys can bet on. If you have not signed up with Betfred, why the hell not? Make sure you do. And go on our link, which is on my Twitter feed. If you need a shot of it, I can DM it to you. Anyway, let's get to this thing. Dale said I had a 20-minute intro. It was about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So there, Dale, take that. Boom.
That was way quicker than usual. I will say that.
I'm trying to get to the star of the show, the main attraction, my boy Dale.
That's a good point. I mean, fuck, my time is valuable. So.
Dude, it's very valuable. I mean, you got another show tonight still, so, you know.
You goddamn right.
All right, man. So
I could be spending this time with my wife right now, Jeff.
Well, I'm glad. Well, it's bro time, dude. You know, bros before does. I mean, come on. Yeah. Right? No, maybe sometimes.
I don't know. I really probably would just be watching TV or sleeping. But it sounded good.
It sounded good. I liked it. All right, so we got another couple week or so. Super Bowl's over. Then we got to get into this draft talk here, which I think we're both ready to get onto the offseason, free agent moves, draft. But we're talking draft here. And we talked a little bit before the show. My personal thought is I think the three needs that the Bengals are trying to get in the draft is offensive line, tight end, hopefully a backup tight end because I want them to sign Hayden Hurst, and DBs. Where are you at? Who's on your list? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I said I agree with all those. I'd maybe add in, I love you too, Corey. I would add in maybe defensive tackle / defensive end. I really like our DNs, especially the size coming on. I think Sample proved himself to be a very valuable, solid rotational piece.
Right.
And then Hendrickson and Hubbard are your starters. So I don't like, and I still think Jeffrey Gunner has a spot on this team. He ended up being practice squad some this year, but early on, you know, he blocked that field goal against Miami. He
got hurt. That's what didn't help him.
Yeah. But I still think I liked him. I mean, that was a great 7th round pick. So I could see him carving out a spot. So it wouldn't keep you from drafting somebody for depth if that's there that you like. But maybe D tackle, which I really like the way Zach Carter came on playing behind BJ Hill.
Right.
But DJ Reader and Tupou, I don't know if they're both entering the last year of their deal. So
no, DJ's next year. Tupou could be cut. Is more of what I've read, but I think they're both under contract.
Yeah, I know Tupou signed a 2-year last year, which I was glad to see because I just think he's this nice, solid, rotational guy. Mm-hmm. So I don't see any reason to really get rid of him. His contract's not big in any way, so I would keep him around. But I still think you could start to add maybe one more defensive tackle, and you're open to either is kind of my point there. I think you could take a 3-tech or you could take a 5-tech nose tackle. So I don't know. There's some good ones. I think this draft is really good for that. So that's a reason I'd add that one, the defensive tackle spot. I really like a lot of players. A guy that kind of got me chubbed up a little bit was Maisie Smith, even though he's a Michigan Wolverine.
Wait, whoa. You're okay with some Maisie Blue? What?
Yeah, if it improves the Bengals, I don't give a shit what their helmet is, where they played in college.
No, I'm with you on that.
Leon Hall was one of the best Bengals corners.
Right.
I mean, hell yeah, that was a great pick. He slid to like 18 that year, and we took him. I fucking love that pick. So definitely know Dax Hill was best player available after Karlaftis, which, yeah, that one hurt. Got fucking
I know, dude. You were like, we're so close. Oh, you're so close to being right. You're freaking out like, oh my god.
I really like Karlaftis. I had him as top 5 player. So
damn
last year. But Dax Hill was good. I thought was the right pick. Obviously, I would have tried to re-sign Bates. We kicked that can down the road too long. I think we were talking about that off air too. We could have fucking signed him, and that contract wouldn't have looked that bad. Now, with the way the safety market has blown up, and the way the salary cap, I don't know if you've seen the salary cap's going up. What was it, like 15?
Somebody put it on there.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
for one season.
It's a lot. And that's one good thing is the Bengals, as far as salary cap goes, they're third with the most room.
I think it's fourth, but yeah, they're right there.
I've heard third, I've heard fourth, so I don't know which one. It's either way. They have a lot of room to sign a lot of guys. I don't like I said. I hate it. I don't think we're going to sign Jesse Bates, but I do think we have to sign Von Bell. But you still have to get somebody else in that secondary because Dax. I love Dax. I think him moving around and being more of a hybrid guy this year kind of hurt him more than helped him because I think we're going to really need him to be the safety next year. That's why I wouldn't be surprised they bring somebody in to maybe compete with him for that.
I disagree just because like preseason when Bates didn't play any and he played, I thought he played really well playing in just Bates' spot. And he wasn't having to. We seen him during the season. Bates was in there. Bates was in Bates' spot. He's in there playing slot corner. He's playing for Trey Flowers, trying to match up against tight ends. That's not what Bates does. Bates is more that guy that can come up in the run game and make hits, but he's also good against the pass from his safety spot. And I think that's what Dax Hill is. I think Dax Hill is going to be just fine as a starter. I'm not worried about it, honestly. Like, I wish we still had Bates just because he's a talented guy. And he's
well, it's not only that, it's also his leadership in the locker room because I know him and Bell, they do player-only meetings, that they run.
Well, I was going to say he's the team captain. Yeah. That was the next words coming out of my mouth is he's a team leader. I know we're always in the same. So, that's where I'm at with it. But I think Dax Hill will be good. And, that's what good teams do. You have to almost draft a year ahead. So as we're going to talk about draft now, we got to think about that some too.
Well, it's just like what they did. I don't think Pratt's coming back. That's the reason they drafted Akeem Davis-Gaither a couple years ago. So they drafted
Well,
think so?
Or no, not them because they were just looking for linebackers in general.
But he's going to replace
Pratt, and then the very next year they drafted 3. They drafted Wilson, Akeem Davis-Gaither, and they drafted and Marcus Bailey.
Yeah, but I think he's going to replace him. I don't think they're going to sign Pratt. Do you? I want him to. I just don't think so.
It depends on the money. Like, I wouldn't completely close the door, but at the same point in time, I would put it as unlikely right now. Yeah. I would say it's like probably 80-20 that he's gone just the way, especially the locker room thing. But then you kind of see on Twitter and stuff, and he's like, oh, I think it was Lindsey Patterson put out, what should the Bengals spend money on this offseason? He's like, linebacker.
Right.
So I don't know if that's him saying they're going to need to replace me, or he's saying like, go ahead and pay me. I'll stay here and I'll keep kicking ass for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one thing that Pratt has done. Like, I mean, a couple months ago he wiped all his Bengal stuff off Twitter. He got TikTok. He went playing on third down or whatever. Those are some of the things that I don't necessarily like that he did off the field. On the field, he played amazing. I mean, I would love to sign him. Just that stuff right there rubs me the wrong way. And then yelling at Osai in the tunnel. I know he came back and apologized. And look, I'm not bang on the guy for doing it. Trust me, it was a horrible way to lose a game. I understand why he's pissed off, but there's just some things that might rub people the wrong way that
Yeah.
maybe they might use against. I don't know. I'm just talking.
I even thought it was a half-hearted apology when, like, he didn't
Yeah.
really apologize to his side. He said, "Oh, I just caught up in the heat of the moment.
Right.
Shouldn't have said that."
Right.
But he should have said, "I should have been a better teammate to Osai," because to me, Osai played a hell of a game.
Yes.
Like that's what
Oh my
sucked.
God.
I know that penalty, but there was other penalties, other
Well,
plays
if
we could
Patrick
have
Mahomes
made.
doesn't throw himself against the freaking bench, it might not be that obvious.
But I mean, BJ Hill, if they
I
call
love-
the holding, the penalty doesn't even happen if they
Right.
just call the holding on BJ Hill on that play, which seemed super fucking obvious at the time and then even more so after. So,
Right. Well,
but you can't fucking worry about the past. We're looking
Nope.
toward the future.
Exactly.
Sherry had a good one. You think Mixon will be gone?
Dude, that's the one I literally had it on my clicker on there, waiting for us to get a point to stop talking about it. Go for it. What do you think?
Well, and here's the thing for me. This is just me personally.
Mhm.
I was talking about either he's going to have to come up with some kind of restructure, or I was going to cut him anyways. It had nothing to do with the stuff that came out, and then charges were dismissed. Who knows what the hell happened is going on with that? It seems like a clusterfuck.
Right.
But I mean, for his sake, I hope he didn't really do anything wrong, and he's good, and still like it was shitty reporting. Put his address out. That's just a bad look for all the people that put that out there, and honestly for the police just filed charges if that wasn't ready to be filed. Even
right,
it's
something doesn't add up there. But either way, I'm with you.
But regardless, it was a conversation about cutting him before because he's going to make $12 million next year as a running back,
and Piron fits better in our offense. Whether people like it or not, it's a pass-first offense. You keep Piron as your number one guy. You don't have to take him out for pass blocking. You don't have to do that. What you do with Mixon. I mean, Ted Karras come out and said that Piron could be a offensive lineman as good of a pass blocker as he is, and I think that right there just fits better with what the Bengals are trying to do. And nothing gets Mixon. I love Mixon. It's just moving forward, the money that he's owed. And I hate to say it again, but the NFL running backs are a dime a dozen. We can go get another guy in the third, fourth, fifth round that could do something to back up Pirine, I think. And Travion Williams is another one who's a really good a pass blocker and a good running back. So that's where I'm at with Mixon.
Which I'll get into some of my running backs because that was what I actually focused a little more on today. So it's fresh in my mind. And I'll talk about, and I tweeted a little, but first I want to talk about just Mixon. You mentioned Pirine, free agent. Travion Williams, free agent.
Mm-hmm.
So there's money. I think Travion could probably be brought back for cheap. Pirine, most likely, but I don't know. You think other teams didn't see some value in him that somebody could say, hey, we'll give you 2 years, $10 million. The Bengals want to do 1 year, $3 million.
They might both be gone. I mean, how deep is the running back class in this draft right now?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's like super deep, but there's a lot of guys I like.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see us going for Bijan Robinson from Texas, stud, all around stud. Probably won't be there toward the end of the first, but even if he was, I have a hard time picking a guy in the first. But honestly, I think I like Jahmyr Gibbs more. Played at Georgia Tech, transferred to Bama. He's just so smooth catching the freaking ball. But he's probably another guy that's going, if he don't go in the first round, he's going so early second, kind of where we took Gio in that range,
Right.
And I don't know. There's several guys I like. But if we start talking about realistic targets, Kenny McIntosh, maybe third, fourth round from Georgia. He had almost 600 yards receiving. Rotational running back at Georgia, they play like three guys, so there's not a lot of tread on those tires, number one. Number two, give me a guy that can catch passes because we don't run the ball like crazy.
Right, exactly.
So I really like him. Tyjae Spears, I had as a third-round prospect. I think he ends up going in the second because he's like Senior Bowl practice player of the week. You just hear his name a lot this week with Senior Bowl.
Is he the one from Tulane?
Yes.
Yes, I've watched him destroy the Bearcats twice this year. Yeah, he's
very
good.
good player. Yes,
Yes.
very good player. One of those guys you would hope, hey, could he just stay under the radar? Maybe you
Right.
snag him in the third or fourth
Yeah, but
round.
he's blown it up at the Senior Bowl. So
Nope. Yeah, and everybody's got guys there watching that, and so he's making himself some money this week, which good for him.
Right.
But then there's a guy who I've seen all like anywhere between 4th and 7th round, and I don't really understand it as I watch more of them today. And I'm probably going to butcher the name, but it's Israel. Abaconda. Yeah, it's.
I'm glad you try to say it.
But dude so he burst on the scene at Pitt this year. I think he had over 1,400 rushing yards, 20 touchdowns. That's pretty good production.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
So I'm like, why is this guy he's only 20 years old. He doesn't turn 21 for a long time. Like, he's one of the youngest players in the entire draft.
That's good.
And I was watching him and I'm like, dude's got some freaking jets. Like, he's not like the elite speed like a Devin Achane from A&M who's probably going like 2nd round. But it's damn good speed. He's not the great he plays a little upright with his running stance at times, but it's like it doesn't even matter. He just gets the ball and he fucking goes.
How's his pass blocking? that's what he's got to be considered for a Bengals running back.
I wrote down as I was watching. He's a willing pass blocker, but it's something he'll still need work. But if a guy's willing, that's half the battle to me as a running back.
Right.
Some of these guys they are not willing, or if they are,
they're
going to get. Some of them are so small, they're framed that they're going to get just demolished right away. Right. So with this guy, I'm like, I really freaking like this. And anybody that's watching, I'm telling you, go out and check. I will spell it for you: Abanikanda.
Look it up.
Abaconda. Fucking Anaconda Dick,
Izzy,
all right?
Izzy, we're calling
Izzy Anaconda Dick from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh running back, okay? Just look it up. I'm telling you, I was like, holy shit, I felt my running back man crush today. Because it's like I had already heard about him and liked him some, but he was like, a lot of places had him as a 6th, 7th round guy, Maybe he goes in the 5th. I'm like, I don't see this guy. I mean, he's a 3rd or 4th rounder, and if you get him there, I think you're getting a steal. His upside is huge.
Now, this is one that Josh Wiley. I'm a big Bearcat fan. I'm a huge Josh Wiley fan. I don't think he's going to be a 1st rounder. He might be a 2nd rounder. What's your thoughts on him?
He's big, apparently. That was one of the reports. One of the reports, I guess, out of the Senior Bowl and stuff was like, damn, didn't realize he was that big. He's legit over 6'6". And I think he's put on bulk compared to last year when he didn't come out. He was a guy who I actually had rated as like a 3rd rounder last year for the draft.
Right.
So I'd already seen a little of him because I thought he was going to come out last year.
Yeah, so
and he'd come back to UC.
He probably should have came out last year. I don't think this year helped him out
exactly. He didn't have the production.
Well, they didn't
have
throw him the ball.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't his fault.
No, trust me, it ticked me off. I'm like, throw the ball to him. Anyway, go ahead.
I have him as a 4th round guy this year compared to 3rd round last year, but that's more the production, and he's a year older. And you factor in, your RAS scores, you factor in age, you factor in all that. So it's a little bit of that. But is that a guy I would take in the mid rounds if he's there? Hell yeah, why not? Yeah. If you can re-sign Hayden Hurst and bring that guy in, I'm all for it.
I'm all for that. All right, let's get to Lewis here. I don't want Jonah and Collins as tackles anymore. Adeniji has to go fix the O-line. Well, I don't know. What do you? What's your thoughts on that, real quick? I've given mine a couple times on here.
I'll say Jonah. They picked up his 5th-year option.
Yeah,
more than likely he's your left tackle, unless they get creative and they want to move him somewhere along the line. But to me, that's only right tackle as a potential option, and it's a lot to move. He's average, right?
Yeah,
I think we can all say he's average. Some people are like, oh, he's worse than that, but I honestly, through his years here, he's been middle of the pack kind of guy, which you can do a lot worse than that as a left tackle. Left tackle is a tough spot to play. And
the thing is, what people are killing me here is we keep talking how our offensive line is bad. Our offensive line is bad. We missed three of our starting offensive linemen. When we had our original starters in there for that 10 game or 9 game, whatever it was, all played, I think Joe was one of the least pressured quarterbacks in the league. I mean, he wasn't
How
getting
many
hit.
was Collins in there for, though? I don't feel like he was in there a ton of those, was he? Like maybe 4 or 5? I don't know.
I don't know. I know because he was hurt at the beginning of the year, and then he started playing, and then he got hurt in what was that, the third to last game of the year? I can't. It all jumbles up.
But
So
Augie was kind of saying that's my concern with Collins is the injuries. It was the injuries in Dallas, like the back. The back was the problem all year. Now he's got this. Like,
all right, but that's why you have Jackson Carman now, where he could be your back. If it doesn't work, like I put it this way, I'd bring them both back because Lyle you can cut the way he has his contract set up, even if it's later, preseason cut or whatever, the salary cap hit won't be that big. Jackson, I think, has proven himself that he can be one of your starting tackles. I think at least give it a shot to do that. I don't know if it's one where you just go, all right, we're done with Jonah or we're done with Lael and Jackson's in there. I mean, Jackson did really good for 2 games, really, high level games. To me, has to be given a shot at trying to get one of those spots, I think.
Yeah, I want to, like Bo's saying there, that's where I was kind of getting the back injuries, now the knee. We need a right tackle.
Yeah.
It was on down that one. Jonah could be. What they're paying Jonah next year on that 5th year, though, he's going to start somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
But I do think we need a right tackle, and I think there's a lot of guys in the draft that I really like. That is my sweet spot for a first round right tackle into the first.
And the thing is, if they're there, then of course the Bengals are taking it. I'm all for it. I have, I mean, that's perfectly fine. To me, offensive linemen and quarterbacks are ones you could take in every draft. You got to at least take some of them just to see what.
Well,
what
if
happens.
you have them, you don't. But that's
even
the
if
position.
You do have them. If you can pick
corners, defensive ends, offensive tackles, and a quarterback. If you don't have them, you need to go get them.
Yeah, but even you do have them, and there's a guy there.
Yes,
you bring him in for competition. You should always draft
unless quarterback. If you got a Burrow, you don't have to. But the ends, offensive linemen, and cornerbacks, yes, you want to have depth.
Right. Well, see, LC here says, or Bro says LC won't be ready for the start of the season, and we can't start at Dingy. Well, that's where I'm like, if Jonah's going to be your left tackle, then you put Jackson at right, or vice versa.
Or is Jackson better on the left, and you just say, all right, Jonah, I know we're paying you a lot more than Jackson, but you guys are having a competition at left tackle.
You could.
And if you're able to draft a right tackle.
Right.
Now, free agent wise, I like Mike McGlinchey from the 49ers as a right tackle. That's about one of the only guys out there.
Do you really think we're going to sign somebody outside, though?
I don't.
Right.
I don't.
And we got some of our own guys aside. That's why I don't think we're going to be.
I'm throwing out a name for free agency that if it was like, okay, let's go. Because if you can get rid of Collins and it's $10 million, well, let's give him that. And if he'll come for another.
I think I'm pretty right that his contract's pretty easy to cut. It's not, nothing's guaranteed. And it's basically a year-to-year contract, right?
Well, and that was the same thing when we started about running back with Mixon. If he is a pre-June 1 cut, it saves $7 million against the cap of his $12 million. If he's designated post-1 cut, it saves you $10 million of his $12 million. $10 million toward the cap. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying it had nothing to do with this arrest stuff. I would have got on here and talked about this.
Right. You and me talked about this during the season, and on the phone.
It's a legitimate conversation to have.
I don't think this is going to happen, Augie, though. He says, move Jonah to second string. They're paying him too much money. He's not going to be second string. If Carmen stinks, they put him back. I love you, Augie, but I don't see them. He's got his 5th-year option. I think Jonah is either going to be your left tackle or your right tackle next year. They've already committed to him.
Or you say, listen, motherfucker, you got there, you be a swing tackle. Fuck it. I don't know. I'm just saying, if Carmen, if they have a true competition, then Carmen would beat them out. I'm just saying. I think you need to be the Bengals. The Bengals should be. We're not the Bengals. We don't know what the hell they're thinking.
No,
but I think they should be open to building depth, however they can, spending whatever they have to on that offensive line. Because this 2 years in a row, I feel like the offensive line has cost us from being Super Bowl champions.
Which kills me is the week before this we were talking about how great the depth was. The offensive line. It was because they played awesome against the Bills. I mean, they didn't touch them. So I was saying
short-sighted, and you're saying Burrowhead and everything else.
Dude, we lost by 3 points.
I know, but why would you say Burrowhead?
They gave the damn game with a 15-yard fucking penalty. That had nothing to do with it.
We won one time. We won one time in Kansas City.
So we damn it won again.
I'm like, shut up. You and the damn mayor. You and the damn mayor's fault. You and the mayor.
No, it's not any of our fault. Look, what it came down to.
Shut the fuck up.
What it came down to is our offensive line versus their defensive line. Their defensive line played better than our offensive line. That's what it came down to. That's the whole thing. They come down to Burrowhead. They come down to our offensive line versus their defensive line, and the refs missing multiple freaking calls. That's what it came down to.
That's what I'm blaming it on. I don't know about everybody else. I'm blaming it on Jeff and the mayor.
You can blame it on me. I mean, it's not true, but you can blame it on me. I don't care. I mean, it came down to Josie Osai hitting Patrick Mahomes, who, oh my God, Patrick Mahomes made a play. Do you realize if he doesn't hit him out of bounds, it's a 50-fucking-yard field goal? Give me a break. Get the hell out of here with this. Oh, we kicked. They didn't kick our ass. Sorry. You had to trigger me, didn't you? Dude, I'm so over these Chiefs fans and all this shit. Like, oh, it's because you called a Burrowhead. Patrick Mahomes came out and said, oh, well, we got upset when they started after, which, by the way, I have a video of you saying this after the Chiefs game. They started the whole, they got to play us thing, and you were yelling that after the Chiefs game, so you can blame you too, sir. There.
Hey,
they said that was against them.
We had a 10-game winning streak with they got to play us. I'll take that every year.
But it started after the Chiefs game, and that ticked them off. Yeah, it did. That's when it started, after the Chiefs game. That's when they started. They got to play, or the week before that, they got to play us. Damn, so there you go. And Patrick Mahomes came out on Fox and said, well, we thought that was a shot against us. I'm like, it wasn't a shot against you. I mean, you can use that as motivation.
Oh, man, that's why I need James to do his Kermit voice. I can't. Because I can't even think about Patrick Mahomes without hearing that damn voice. Which, man, his dad does some fucking hella drugs. Did you see his dad's interview?
I haven't. I watched a little bit of it. He was.
I was looking at Joe Burrow. I'm looking at Joe Burrow. Like, bro, you fucking cracked the fuck out, homie.
The thing that cracks me up is everybody now is smoking cigars. Will you please go think of your own thing? I know it's cool. I know the Bengals are cool. I know you want to be like the Bengals, but go find your own stuff. They're out there smoking cigars. Like,
hey, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Because they want to be us. Because they only beat us once. So there. They got to play us.
They got to pay the rest to beat us. Damn. It was a poorly officiated game, and we still had chances to win, and we still should have won the game. That's the thing, man. We literally
handed them the game.
Yeah.
Like, here. You hit him out of bounds. He threw himself against the boards.
Well, we could talk about the late hit on Joe Burrow, The guy
the out of bounds hit on Mixon.
Way late. Yeah, the out of bounds. And I was fucking yelling at my TV at that one because I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
I know. So, like I said,
there was a lot of.
Like that, trust me, Chiefs fans have quote tweeted me a million times. Hashtag, look, I deserve it. I'm cool with it. I don't care. That if you think that's the reason you won.
Oh my God, I don't think that's the reason that we lost.
No, I'm not saying you. I think these
Chiefs
fans.
I'm going to give you shit.
No, I know you are. I'm just saying. These Chiefs fans think that's the reason they won. Their minds are about this big. They're freaking small as hell.
I told you. I said, we've only beat them once. Could we just cut it out?
We beat them 3 times in a row. We beat them once there.
At their home field, we had beat them.
And we almost beat them this time.
I'm like, why are we calling it Burrow? Like, why are we giving
him because it's Burrow, bitch.
Fuck, he learned nothing. He learned nothing.
Oh my God, this is so
between Eli Apple, you, and the mayor. I was like, God damn, line them up,
dude. I had somebody quote tweet me, or not quote, but answer me back when I said, Travis, he's apologizing and now giving the Bengals credit. I said, oh, now you are. Or whatever, and somebody goes back at me and says, well, it was more based at the mayor and not the fan base. I said, you do realize the mayor is part of the fan base, right? Like, if you don't work for the Bengals or you don't play for the Bengals and you root for the Bengals, you're part of the fan base.
Yeah, but you're the mayor of that city. Like that.
And who's part of the fan base?
It's going to get blown up.
Well, yeah, of course it is, which is fine. I don't care. I mean, it's so stupid that everyone's like, oh, like it was a dumb statement by the mayor. It was silly. I mean, I was talking crap. I don't care. That's what's fun about this.
Also, you should have got a ticket for Del Ramey because if he was there with the shirt off, there ain't no fucking way we would have lost.
I know.
No fucking way.
That's the
He
problem right
said,
there.
he said they don't take their shirts off because they ain't got the fucking balls. Fucking
Hell
fans.
no. It was cold as hell there.
Fucking bitch ass pussies. You ain't Del Ramey.
Hey,
You don't
hey,
you don't know him.
bow down to Dale.
Del
Dale can
Ramey.
take his shirt off. He can go get frostbite.
No.
All right,
Del
let's
Ramey
see.
don't get frostbite. Frostbite gets Del Ramey.
Oh God! All right, let's get back. We're getting off the track here. We're trying to
Yeah, we are. It's a fucking off season. What the fuck we supposed to talk about?
Oh God! Oh my goodness! All right, so
I haven't drank all week, so I can be
What?
rational and talk. I've been saving it for tonight.
oh God, God help us. Hey, it's on tonight for Dale. All right, so what? Okay, James brought this guy up, and he couldn't remember his name, but the offensive lineman for Ohio State who has the wingspan of Shaq.
DeJuan Jones.
Yeah, you said if he's there, you'd run to the table to get him.
I didn't say I'd run to the table, but I said like he's projected right now in like second, third round. But I just got a huge man crush on him right now because I'm like, which I hate. Like he only practiced the one day. I would like to see him the next couple days at the Senior Bowl because you're going against some damn good players consistently in that setting, one-on-ones. But Foskey's a first or second round pick from Notre Dame, shutting that motherfucker down. You know, Andre Smith the second out of Army. He's the second. I had him as a first round pick, but he's not playing well, so he's moved down to second, potentially third. But he is fucking dominating that motherfucker. Like, but 6'8" plus. 370, 380.
Big boy.
And he like had his fucking shirt. It ain't like he didn't look like no Andre Smith out there or Del Walton.
or
Yeah,
Kansas
there
City
wasn't
guy.
just titties.
He wasn't Kansas City guy.
But you know, and just like his arm length, like you said, 89 and a half Senior Bowl record, like elite side wingspan. So 89 and a half. Arms was, I can't remember the exact, but fucking damn near elite, obviously. 35, 36, somewhere in there.
So will he be your starting left tackle if he's there next year?
Right tackle. He's a right tackle. He played right tackle at Ohio State. Gave up 0 sacks this season. But he has had, like, there is concerns that he plays too. I mean, 6'8". You know, do you have the bend for these speed rushers, these guys that are like 6'2" that, you know, fly off the edge? I don't know. But I fucking love him. And I would definitely consider him, you know, to just plug and play at right tackle. Darnell Wright's another guy out of Tennessee. I think he's plug and play right tackle.
So if he's there, what are we picking? 18? Is that what we're picking at?
28.
28. Sorry, 28. Yeah, I had 8. All right. So if we're picking at 28 and he's there, first round, are you taking him? Or are you trying to wait to see if he's there? Because I mean, if you get that guy and he's that big, you can plug and play him at right tackle and just say put Jackson Carman at left, dude. We'd have one of the biggest offensive lines in freaking football.
Well, Jonah and Jackson then could battle at that point, and you've got your interior that I thought was great. The majority of the
interior
season.
line, I have no problem with at all.
Well, there's a lot of people now saying Volson could be upgraded. I wouldn't just give Volson a job, and it's like, what the fuck? He was a rookie. Why was like? I thought he played great.
Yeah. I think he needs to add some weight, get a little stronger, but that he's fine. Leave him.
He seems like a dude that'll do whatever the hell he needs to do to improve too. Like
he eats, sleeps, breathes football. To keep him, Kappa, Karras, Volson, they're fine. Don't touch them. It's the tackles. We got to try to figure out what we're going to do.
But I think like having a Jonah and a Carman, and you know maybe
it can't hurt.
Maybe the competition brings out the best in both of those guys.
Right.
But like, damn, if you could just draft a really good right tackle, and you still need depth. That's what I mean. That's why, like Jonah, Carman, you still need that. You still need those depth pieces.
Right. That's why what we got from Carman is so huge. I mean, it is. People are just, I think, discrediting how big that is, how good he played in two of the biggest games in the season. I mean, that's a huge just. Okay, we have something from Jackson. We went from he might be cut because he didn't dress for half the season to all right. He's might be our starting right tackle. If not, he's at least our first guy off the bench next year. Right now, I mean, that to me is a huge upgrade. Finding that out, just that.
Was there a question in there?
That was more of a statement. Do you agree with that? I guess.
Sure.
You don't think it was a big? I mean, honestly, Jackson.
I was thinking about going to pee about halfway through, and then I was like, "Wait, was that a question or a statement?"
Well, what do you? I mean, do you think it's a big thing that Jackson made this big of a step?
Oh yeah, I mean, shit, we had written him off. I'd say
right,
and I still whatever. If there's any truth to the stuff in the off season, I'm still all for cutting him. So, that article that came out last year, but play wise on the field, and if none of that's true, we're like, oh, this guy he can't. He's not active. He wasn't active any weeks. Then he comes in and plays left tackle he's definitely shown like talent wise. Mm-hmm. You got to keep him around roster spot minimum. Potentially, like you said,
starting.
Good start. Yeah. Right tackle, left tackle. And that's what I mean. You got to figure that out. But I'm still like, I don't know. I still draft one.
I'd always draft offensive lineman every year if you can. I just would.
Del Remy. No, not 325. He's about 380. And his name's DeJuan Jones, and I was just coming over him. Yep. So you ain't even listening. You ain't even listening to us talk, Dale.
Exactly, Dale. Look, you shirt off and all of that, not even pay attention.
Yeah.
All right, you got to go let your dog out?
Yeah.
Okay, go let your dog out. We'll be back. Like you're not leaving the show, are you? You're coming back, right?
Who let the dogs out? Who?
Jeez. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see here. Let's get to Augie. Carmen played great when the lights were the brightest. They account for something. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think that was a big thing that we found out, that we actually have something with Jackson Carman. We didn't know what we had. We thought we had nothing. We thought he's a bust. So he's definitely not a bust. He's somebody that, worst case, is going to be your backup tackle. I mean, honestly. But I do think offensive line is definitely something that you look at in the draft. And it just depends on how the draft falls. But we need a right tackle, the biggest weakness on the O-line, even if it's just for depth or start until, I don't disagree with any of this stuff. I mean, the part that when our offensive line was all healthy and playing together, they did a really good job. So this whole narrative that our offensive line is in shambles, which is like some of the national media want to put it out there, is wrong. Our offensive line is not in shambles. Our interior is fine. The tackles can be improved, but I mean, like I said, me personally, I'm drafting offensive linemen every year just for depth, because I've said this a million times on here. Offense and defensive line is where this game is won and lost. That's where we lost this game. Their defensive line played better than our offensive line. So that's just where I'm always at. Let's see. Now somebody said something I wanted about UC. Well, who was it? No. Because I wanted to ask Dale about this too. Where Pace. Ivan Pace. Where'd it go? I don't think we're going to get him, but where was that at? I can't remember who said it. Anyway, somebody tweeted out or commented about Ivan Pace. I don't know where he's ranked. I would like the potential of maybe the Bengals getting him, but I don't know if he'll be there. That's where I need Dale to come back from letting his dog out. He could let me know. Ramey said, "Oh, sorry, I missed that. I'm at Kroger with the fam and trying to multitask and watching." Hey, that's what you have to do. You have to multitask it. What? I'm on the air. I can't let you out right now, dog. Sheesh. Anyway, let's see here. Kevin, you said he found a home. Do you mean Jackson? As I'm assuming who you're talking about. I guess some of these other ones that I missed here while me and Dale were going off. Get a running back for the future, BJ Robin. By Jay Robin, and then get a lineman. That'll get there, Augie.
Bijan Robinson. He's a first-round pick, top 20. He's not going to be there, but even if he was, no, I wouldn't take him.
All right, what about Ivan Pace for the Bearcats?
I really like him. He's shown out at the Senior Bowl. He's super athletic. His knock is like he's only 6 foot tall, but I kind of like guys like that that are fast. He was doing good in pass rush drills. Plus, he can cover a little bit. The only thing is his length when he's in coverage, only being 6 foot tall. But he's damn good. I got him as like a solid third round pick, and I mean that's usually where you get your good linebackers, aka Logan Wilson.
Right. So I would love to get him on the team because I mean, if we let Pratt go, you got to try to get somebody there. But that's, I mean, of course, I'm a Bearcat fan, so I'm going to root for all the Bearcats.
Oh yeah, I know. I trust me. I remember last year.
Dude, I wanted Sauce. We weren't getting Sauce, but you know.
Well, you
I wanted Kobe
Bryant. Yeah.
What was I wrong? Kobe had a good year.
You were not wrong.
I told you Kobe was good. I didn't say you're disagreeing with me or not, but I mean, Kobe had a really good year for Seattle, and
he went later than I expected as
right.
well last year. That was the shocking part.
Well, so did Cook for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and he's played well.
Yeah, he made a play against the Bengals. So, I mean, ticked me off, but I mean, he's a Bearcat, so I was right about him. There's a lot of good Bearcats coming out now after, you know, we have a new coach. We'll see what happens moving into the Big 12 and everything. It's really weird watching for the podcast listeners. Dale is not on camera, and all I see is Houday Baby's face. So it's really kind of freaks me out.
Jerking off. I like to talk sports and jerk off to Jeff's
I thought
face.
you just like doing that when you're looking at me.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
Talking sports, looking at your face, and rubbing the fucking rough warrior, the purple-headed yogurt slinger in my
Oh my god.
pants.
Bo would be super pumped to be able to join you guys someday. Bo, when we do live video chats, you can jump on, man. Because
yeah, we'll have some of those coming up.
Oh, trust me, because we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about, especially because we got Reds baseball season coming up, which is going to suck. Yeah. So trust me, we're gonna have live video chats. You can jump on sometime, brother, when you got a chance. So all right, so where are you at with just like we talked about this. We talked about this off air, but the punter situation. You said that you would draft one to 6th round. I would more like take one, try to get one undrafted guy to at least compete for Drew Chrisman.
I'm saying I'd be fine if we used a 6th or 7th round draft pick on one because there's no guarantee those guys are active on game days, especially, or make your roster. So if you can get a starter and a 10-year starter or 15-year starter, you know, just like, I mean, we took Huber in the 5th round. I'm saying use a 6th rounder on the Michigan State punter. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But hey, I'd be undrafted. If the undrafted guy falls, you bring one in for competition at minimum.
Right.
But I'm saying if there's a guy you like, you take him.
They got to bring somebody in for competition. And same thing, we'll talk about your best friend, Clark Harris. I'm all for re-signing him, and I think you re-sign him because Calamitis did okay, but he wasn't consistent. Clark Harris.
He wasn't Clark.
No, Clark is elite. I'm sorry. Clark is an elite snapper. He still yet to have an unplayable snap. You don't just let that guy go. And somebody comment on the show or whatever, like, well, he's going to be 38. Who cares? He's a long snapper. He could probably play those 45 like Brady did. You know, I mean, those guys, when you got somebody that good.
Easily. He's in great shape, too. He's working his ass off last year.
He could be a Hall of Fame long snapper if there was such a thing. There should be. And Clark Harris
should be.
That'll be our vote for it. But, I mean, I think you, without a doubt, bring Clark Harris back. Hell, have a competition. You know, I mean, but I don't think Adam's going to beat him.
Back to Chrisman for a minute. It's the lack of hang time. That was a problem the whole time he was the punter. He was the worst by far in hang time. And then it's like, we see. Well, he's really good with the accuracy and down in the red zone and pinning them in. Yes, he had some good ones, but he's very inconsistent. Then we see him
that's
and
why
with the lack of hang time. I'm just like, he's just not the guy. There's a reason Huber beat him out the last 2 years with Huber not being the Huber that we loved for so many years.
Right. Yeah. Huber, unfortunately, was done. He just, time just catches up to you after a while. I mean, like I said, I'm not like, oh my God, we have to get rid of Chrisman. We have to bring somebody in to compete with him is what we have to do.
And I think if somebody comes in to compete with him, I think they beat him because I don't think he's very damn good. So Yes, I do think we have to get rid of him.
I'm not as hard. I'm not as down on Christmas as you are, but I do agree we need to bring somebody in. So Bo here said we also need a special teams game breaker on returns. I agree with this.
Oh
Trent
yes,
Taylor's fine.
that gets into another position that we were talking about, which is our. We all love Trent Irwin, but wide receiver 4
Yep.
could easily be upgraded with a speed guy. We needed another speed guy.
Yep. Especially when Tyler Boyd went out, that would have helped.
Or when Chase is out.
Mm-hmm.
When Chase missed some games this year.
So what's the wide receiver position look like on the draft? Is it pretty? It's usually pretty deep. I mean, is it pretty deep this year?
Well, somebody had mentioned a guy I like a lot, which is Nathaniel Dell, but he's very small frame, and that worries me quite. Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was you, Bo, earlier mentioned him as well. But Tank Dell from Houston, really good. Yeah, a lot of people like him. And he's been a great route runner too at the Senior Bowl.
How tall is he? You say he's kind of short. What's his size?
I want to say
6 foot. Or is he
no, he's under 6.
Okay.
Maybe even by.
Because I'm trying to remember, because I obviously he played for Houston, so I obviously watched him play. I just can't remember.
But I've got another one that played for Nebraska.
Most say he's 5'9".
Yeah,
there you go.
Trey Palmer is another guy. Speed, and he's a return guy. So those are the two. And I'll throw in one more from Michigan State, Jaden Reed, who's had an excellent Senior Bowl week. There's 3 guys right there that I'm thinking, if you could get one of them slide to the 4th round, and you get them in the 4th round, like, woo-wee.
Yeah, which could, I mean, you can get that there. That's not a reach at all. Mm. So I mean, that's something I think they're going to have to look. Greg here says, do y'all think, or what do y'all think is going to happen to Chris Evans? He's still under contract. I don't see him going in with Smarje, a free agent, Travion Williams, a free agent, and then up in the air about Joe Mixon. I don't think Chris Evans is going anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. Coaches just don't seem to trust him. Like, we as fans, I'm a huge Chris Evans guy.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm like, man, some of those passes that I feel like Samaje and Joe get, I'm like, I wonder if Chris Evans had that same pass. How many yards he would have got on that.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would have taken that one to the end zone. Like, and the way he can line up in the slot, line up at receiver and beat guys. And I thought he was a solid return guy, but they
took that away from him too.
Big penalties and big moments, and they just don't have trust for him. Like, it sucks.
It's very frustrating because I do think he's a solid player that, given a shot, like you just said, some of these passes that Mixon and Samaje are getting, Chris Evans could have broke to the house, because he's got moves. I hopefully whatever their concerns are, hopefully he gets it straightened out this next year, and he can really be a key participant for the Bengals this year.
And
he's got one.
Zach Kuntz. I actually had him almost like 5th round, but he's kind of dropped lately. But it's not any fault of his own. It's more everybody else is jumping over him on the tight ends. The Davis Allen from Clemson has kind of jumped up and things like that. Houday Pork Chop. But tight end wise, we haven't really, like, we mentioned that as one of the needs, and we talked about your guy from which Derek's in love. Your guy from UC, Josh
Wiley. Yeah.
But Derek's in love with Luke Musgrave, and he's showing out at the Senior Bowl, and he clocked over 20 miles per hour.
Woo! Yeah. Wait, Luke Musgrave. I know that name. What school is he from?
I think Oregon State.
Okay. Shoot. I wish he was coming out this year, which we have no shot of getting him. But the kid from Georgia.
He's
good. He's a sophomore.
Yeah, that kid's unreal.
He could have played in the NFL, I think, as a freshman, dude.
He's
unbelievable.
Yeah, for sure. But the guy from Notre Dame, obviously, is tight end 1, Michael Mayer.
We're not.
If he's there at the end of the first, that's a tight end you would have to consider.
If he's there, I'm taking him.
Yeah, I hate to take one in the first because I really do think Hurst should be signed 2-3-year deal. Just if the money works out.
We'll give Hurst and Mayer.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Darnell Washington, a little raw as a pass catcher, but dude's like fucking 6'7". Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go, James. I wasn't even seeing that over there, but I was going to say that is a guy James really likes, but a lot of people like him. He's fucking huge. A guy that I could potentially be better than Michael Mayer in the NFL is Dalton Kincaid from Utah.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
He's the fucking go watch him. He's a fucking stud.
Okay.
Some games for Utah, he'd take over, have like 15 fucking catches, knowing the ball's coming to him. He's got good size. I think he's at least 6'5", 6'6", great speed. Like, yeah, Washington would be good because he can block and he's a fucking but he needs to work on his pass catching, his route running for sure. But it's a guy. It's like fuck with the Bengals that would work, but you can't take him in the first round. Now, if Washington would be there at the end of the second, because you could use packages. Right, with him and Hurst, like you know,
I would love to get a 2 tight end set going sometimes. That would
especially with a guy that can fucking block that 6'7", and then just release. I'm like, hey, I'm on the goal line. I'm fucking 6'7". Hey, Joe, look at me.
Give me the ball. I'm open.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I would love that, but Sam Laporta from Iowa is another guy to keep in mind.
Greg here says, what about the guy from Dallas?
Oh, yeah. He's going to want too much money.
I just don't see us signing big free agents outside. We just got too many of our own guys to sign.
Malik Wright said Gesicki, right? I'd bring in Gesicki and play him as a slot and take, like, Boyd snaps, basically. And it's like, Gesicki didn't have a good year this year, which I get it. Whatever. They had big time outside receivers. Didn't go to him as much, but I like Gesicki, but...
Hi, Crip. Sorry, my bad. Hi, Crip. How are you, Crip?
Hi, Crip. I'm sorry.
We're in the middle of the discussion, okay? You showed up late.
Dalton Schultz is the Dallas. I just don't see any of those guys. Evan Ingram balled out in Jacksonville, right? They're going to fucking pay him. Is he if he's a free agent again? I think he might have signed just a 1-year deal.
Bo here says, I love Hurst, but look at all the great QBS nows. And in the past, Brady, Gronk, Mahomes, Kelsey, Manning, Clark. Well, I think Burrow and Hurst were starting to develop that, to be honest. I mean, I wish he would have had a little more in the red zone.
No, not at that level. He's saying like an elite. Like those are elite. Those are Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at those, okay, you got Brady and Gronk. They never had an elite wide receiver. Now, Mahomes, Kelsey, they did when they had Tyreek. Clark, Manning.
Gronk, they didn't have Randy Moss?
Not when Gronk was there, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Okay, maybe for 1 year. It was toward the end of Matt Moss's year.
I'm just that's when the offense was really
but when Gronk really took off, it wasn't. That's when they had the Hernandez and Gronk, the 2 tight end set. They ran that because Moss and Welker and all those guys are gone. That's why they went to that set.
Yeah, and Welker, thank you for bringing him up. He was good too.
Yeah, but I'm saying they weren't on that team when Gronk started taking off. They were gone already. That's why they had Hernandez and Gronk.
And then Tyreek Hill with Kelsey,
so that one I do. Yeah, Tyreek Hill, but now it's
and then Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne and
So I mean, I'm not saying it's. I would love to get I think Hayden Hurst can be that guy. Maybe I got orange colored sunglasses, but
he's almost 30 years old. Like, hey, you know how I personally feel about Hurst family and the mental, but I try to separate any personal feelings when I'm talking. Like
I said, if Michael Mayer is there, me personally, I'm running to the board to go draft Michael Mayer. If he's there at 28, which I don't think he's going to be, that's who because I love that kid. I saw that kid play in high school. That kid's a beast.
But I think Dalton Kincaid could be a fucking game breaker. And Derek feels that way about Luke Musgrave, which he only played 2 games this year. He was injured, but I need to go back and watch more of him from years prior because he is being talked about a lot. I
mean, this would be scary. Can you imagine Joe with elite tight end? Weapons were,
Yeah, but I totally was getting your point there because it is. I mean, it would be.
I just don't know if we can get him. That's the thing. I don't know if it'd have to be drafting somebody who could become that. We're not. I don't think we're signing one.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
it'd have to be draft, and that's what I mean. You gotta. That's where a little luck comes into play. With
right, which.
A guy falls to the end of the first like a Mayer, or somebody in the second like a Well, but that's when you're picking. That's basically a first round pick because you're picking.
He still was there. Either way.
No, I know. Green Bay, you're fucking stupid.
I know.
But
that's what still cracks me up. These Green Bay fans who came during the season, like, oh, we need to trade for T. Higgins. I'm like, dude, you'd have to give us like every single one of your draft picks to get T. Higgins from us right now. You're freaking nuts. Like, we're not trading T. Higgins. Like, either T. Higgins, either they're going to let him walk as a free agent, which God, I hope they don't, or they're going to resign him. So,
well, you're going to have to come in the chat on Bengals and Brews so you can just say that.
Who?
Which I don't know. Derek might like it. He's somehow rationally likes Drew Sample. So,
what? What, this?
Yeah. Because Derek is in love with this Musgrave guy, and I said I need to watch him more. He only played 2 games this year, but he's having a good Senior Bowl. I know that.
Yeah. Are you going to watch that Saturday, Senior Bowl?
Maybe. Honestly, you usually get more scouting wise and
I've been watching the freaking practices.
Yes, out of the practices.
Yeah.
Than you do out of the game, but it's always interesting to see who balls out.
I geek out on this stuff, so I'll watch that too. Natty says this year's draft, offensive heavy or more defensive focused. What do you think?
I say split. I mean, that's
kind of what we kind of went back and forth on that.
But I feel that way. Like I think the very best player in the draft is Will Anderson from Alabama, and I think Jalen Carter's in the top 5, the defensive tackle from Georgia. But then you always got your quarterbacks and your receivers, and your Bijan Robinson is probably one of the overall best running backs.
What's your thoughts on Bryce Young?
Saquon Barkley.
What's your thoughts on Bryce Young? Are you like sold that he's definitely going to? Because the height scares me. I mean, he's got everything else
in general. It's the height, weight, injury concerns. Like
that, I think his talent is there. It's just the physical nature of the position and be able to see is my concerns with him. What do you
high football IQ, anticipates throws, pretty accurate, good live arm. I think he'll be a good quarterback. I think Stroud will be a good quarterback. Yeah. I think Will Levis is a huge boomer bust guy, even though he has all the traits. Yeah, he has the traits, but for whatever reason, Trey Lance had all the traits, and we haven't seen much yet. Like, I know he's been injured, but I'm just saying.
What's the 49ers? What's the Sucky Niners going to do with their quarterback situation?
Well, it's going to be Trey Lance, right? It's going to have to be.
It's either that or you trade for Derek Carr. I mean, Aaron Rodgers said at the program yesterday that he's not going to San Francisco, so he kind of put that already. I think we're both reading the same comment. What is this?
I think it's about Joe Mixon.
What is it? Holy crap!
Yeah,
I don't know.
We ain't never had. That may be the longest.
That's the longest one I've ever had. It's not even a super chat. All right. You guys can read it. We'll be here forever trying to read that one.
It's just basically saying skeptical whether Mixon did or did not do what he did. Big Ben. Yeah, we don't know either. That's I have no idea. Hard to. Yeah, it's hard to. I said from a money standpoint, paying a running back $12 million, I would have to consider getting rid of him. Anyway.
We were saying this before the charges came out and dropped her. We were saying, and it's not. I love Joe Mixon. It's nothing about Joe Mixon, but it's the running back position. You don't pay. It would be. I think he would be the third, top 3 as far as highest salaries for the Bengals going into the season right now. You don't pay your running back that much.
Well, there was a graphic, and I can't remember who shared it in the group chat you left. By the way. But it was
you can put me back in if you want. God,
you wouldn't pay attention anyways. But it's like the Eagles are paying 4 running backs less than that. You know,
right.
The Chiefs are paying 3 running backs that are less than that. You know what I mean? They're paying their entire
the
running backs a lot less than $12 million. Both of those teams that are in the Super Bowl. So
you just don't pay running backs that much. You just don't. If you're you pay quarterbacks, you pay wide receivers, you pay DBs, offense linemen. You pay them before you pay running backs. I gotta get this super chat here. Thanks, Bo. Appreciate it. $10 super chat from Bo. If these guys are there, run to the podium. Mayer, Robinson, Porter Jr. agree with all of them, but I would have a really, really hard time rooting for Joey
You've
Porter
said
Jr.
this.
I know. I said I'd
But
do it, but I'd have a hard time because I hate his dad.
All right, Jeff. You don't have to say anything. So I have Joey Porter Jr. as quarterback 1. So obviously, yes, you don't get quarterback 1 in the draft.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I'd run to the table. Robinson, I don't know if I'd run to the table for him. I think he's a great running back. Like I said, best one probably since Saquon Barkley came out. So I understand it, and I understand that could maybe open things up more. But I'm also like, I don't know. It's just hard for me to take a running back in the first round because I love Jahmyr Gibbs and his pass catching from Alabama.
I just want to clarify. If he's there, I'm okay drafting him. It'd take me a little while to go, all right, Joey Porter. Like, it just hurts the back of my head. Like,
yeah, but maybe we could get him to come on a field in a big moment and draw a penalty on the other team.
What are you doing to my son, man? Pull somebody's hair.
He just comes out of the stands and it's like, I'm allowed to be here, right? And the refs are like, I guess penalty on the Chiefs.
There you go. I think it sounds good. All right, man. Dude, I love when you come on the show. We've been on for an hour. You got to go get ready for your own show. You're doing it at 7:00 tonight, right?
What am I doing to get ready for my show though?
I don't know. You always keep saying you got to go get ready. I mean, we can hang here and talk.
Well, usually it's like I pee,
yeah,
I rip a heater.
And we keep talking if you want.
No, that's fine.
Let's ask the chat.
I gotta save it.
Should Dale stay?
We got a long off season. But I like this. I like when we get people in the chat that want to interact, and especially with the draft free agency. Because I don't know, man. I prepare for this shit year round, but I always say, I'm like, I would not talk about it on my show. I would not. I'm like, till the
but as soon as that field goal went through, Dale's like, all right, draft.
No.
It was like the next day or so.
It was the next day.
Yeah.
Because I gotta move on, man. That's just
I know. Well, and the funny thing for me is
I'm not going to stay in the negative. I got to.
When I left the game, I wasn't pissed off. I was sad we lost, but I wasn't pissed off because I'm like, they beat us by 3 points, and it helped that the Chiefs fans around me weren't being jerks, so that helped a lot. But I just
everyone didn't have that experience, though.
I know. Courtney Britton, her and Darryl did not have a good time. So
maybe I should just tell Courtney and Darryl, like, listen. I'm already VP of the Juice Gang. You're the president, so.
I'm the secretary, but go ahead.
But I'm the VP of the Juice Gang. Maybe I just need to go to all the games with them. Like,
we could be security.
Yes.
Juice Gang security.
And, like, if somebody fucks with them,
they got to go through us.
I got to do what I got to do. Don't fuck with my people.
There you go. All right, man. Well, hey, make sure everybody joins you at 7:00 tonight for Bengals and Brews.
Yes, Bengals and Brews.
You, Huda, Joe. Arrow actually is going to be on his own show.
Yes, Derek will be there. Joe will be on tonight, but won't be on the next couple of weeks. We don't have any guests really lined up, but we'll find people.
Well, it's hard. Nobody. I've reached out to everybody, and like nobody wants to come on.
Well, I mean, you still got the Super Bowl coming up.
Oh, I know.
It's a weird time.
It's a long season. And everybody's kind of like, okay, we need to decompress it, and I understand.
This one, you want to hear us fucking bullshit because you're fucking need to move on like us with the season.
We're awesome, and we're awesome.
Yeah, that too, maybe. But we'll get better guests later. Just gotta stick with
exactly. All right, brother. Who day?
Who day?
All right, guys. Like I said, if you want more draft talk, go check out Dale. Bengals Brews tonight, 7:00. Like I said, I love Dale knows his stuff about draft. I'm sorry, and I get a lot of my information from Dale. Kieran's another one who knows stuff about draft. So those are my two go-to guys as far as draft coverage goes. I don't always agree with everything they say, but I'll agree with a lot of stuff they say. So check them out. Let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And as always, I appreciate every single one of them. They are Houday Nation, Houday Legion, Bearcat Ruckus, Radical Reds, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar. And then you follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Sports with Strawberry Ice on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trunipole. TikTok is at Iceman90. You pretty much find all of them. Just look up Sports with Strawberry Ice. It'll pop up somewhere. Podcast, I'll be pulling a sound off later and putting it out there. So if you guys want to listen to any of the draft talk or any of the shenanigans that me and Dale do on this show, I have so much fun with Dale come on the show. I love that dude. Check us out on the podcast. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play. Pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Please make sure you rate, like, review. Leave a comment on Apple Podcasts and a 5-star review on Apple and a comment on Spotify so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. YouTubers, we're at 2,104 subscribers. Like I said, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. Let's try to get it rolling. Hopefully I can hit 3,000 maybe before the season starts. I was hoping to hit 2,000 before the season started. I hit it toward the end of the season, but maybe we'll get a little faster this year. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors about Sports with Strawberry Ice. Again, you guys are awesome in the chat. You guys are blowing it up. I'll see you guys Monday. I got more draft stuff coming. Parker Blake will be on Monday. We'll be talking about the big uglies, the offensive linemen, so we can really discuss more of what the Bengals might do with the offensive line. Like I said, it's not as big a problem as it has been. Do we need to improve it? Yes. Like I said, I will always take an offensive lineman in the draft. That's something. Offensive, defensive lineman, you can never have enough of those guys because, as always, I've said, this game is won or lost in the trenches. And you got to keep, and when we have Jackpot Joe, you got to keep him upright. You give him time, he's going to carve every single NFL team up. So, got a lot of stuff going on in the offseason. Hopefully, Joe Burrow's contract gets signed soon. I hope they re-sign T. Higgins sooner than later. Logan Wilson. The running back issue, what they're going to do with Joe Mixon, Samaje, lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff to talk about in the offseason because we don't really want to talk about the Reds. But Reds opening day, pitchers and catchers are reporting here soon. I wish there's more stuff to talk about them because I love my Reds. But unfortunately, Phil Castellini says, where are you going to go? And he still believes that. Anyway, I see you guys on Monday. You guys have a great weekend. Go watch Bengals and Brewers at 7. Ready? And that's just sports, baby. See ya!